everybody, I'm Chris Watson and welcome to this edition of Overtime Sports. Today we're on the road again at the Public Service Leadership Academy at Fowler in Section 3. Now we have all heard the stories in the past about a team or maybe a school not being able to play a home game for one sport or one full year. But here at Fowler, they went 12 years without being able to host a home outdoor sporting event. The fall of 2009 was the last time an outdoor game was played on the campus at Fowler. After that, the old athletic field was torn up and the waiting game began.
There were people fighting for us for years and years and years to get the finances, and it's not easy. We're not a school that you could ask your taxpayers to, because we don't get funded that way. So, it's a little more frustrating, but we had people that didn't give up.
If it wasn't for the perseverance of our superintendent, who just, he made a promise that this was going to happen, and he came through, and the kids absolutely appreciate that. The community appreciates it. We certainly appreciate it.
For over 10 years, the boys and girls soccer teams played up the street at Burnett Park, and other sports like track and field, lacrosse, and football played home games at other Syracuse city schools like Corcoran, Henniker, or Nottingham.
When you're away all these years, it just becomes habit. So it's almost forgotten, like, what does a home game feel like? What does that home game advantage feel like? And when we had these first two games, it brought it all back.
And then the day they started putting up, nobody was more excited to see construction fencing. There's nothing pretty about construction fencing, but when we watched that go up all the way around here, it was like, okay, maybe. And we all held our breath. 2 weeks later, bulldozers were in moving dirt. And we all came out here and stood and said, it's happening. This is it, you guys.
Senior classes went their entire high school careers without playing a game on their own campus. But in March of 2021, the Public Service Leadership Academy at Fowler finally opened their new multi-sport stadium.
It's honestly like something I never would have imagined being here, playing at Corcoran. I was like, oh, we're just at Corcoran. Getting hyper in their locker room wasn't the same as how we would do running on the field after a win or, just running around after practice or something like that.
It's an incredible feeling. Being here, this is my 31st year here, being on that field up there and knowing what a home field feels like. It's just an incredible feeling to have your own stadium, your own identity. And for the community, for the faculty, for the student athletes and everybody in this school, it's just an incredible feeling and a long time coming.
We never gave up hope. I believe that. And John, who's been coaching here, forever, he's so optimistic. He never gave up hope. So I think, and that it, spread to the kids.
Listening to the boys as they left the locker room and saying, come on guys, let's go. Let's line up and get ready to go out to our home field. There's nothing better than that. It's just the pride. Watching the kids walk onto the stadium was just unreal.
For those who waited for this day to finally arrive, the emotions were on full display.
And I said this to my superintendent. It could bring you to tears, and I'm not kidding. And this is from someone who, I taught at Fowler, I coached at Fowler. It brings this feeling of not just loyalty, pride.
We're all excited. I remember Bauer sitting on the bench over there. He was just looking, taking it all in at once because we're both seniors, so everybody was checking in during senior night on the first game. It felt great seeing our parents come out, having all our fans, cheerleaders right here. It just felt great.
Did you have that stop and smell the roses moment before you hit the field?
We did. We had that in the very first practice day, on the opening day of practice, when we all stood at that gate, and I had chills. It's a great feeling, and the kids did too, and you could see the excitement from them as they entered that field for practice that first time.
We try every day, no matter who we work for, to do what's best for kids. And the message then was sent that we care about you. That's really the message. We know how important this is, but I do think the biggest message was we promised that you were going to get something, and we came through. I do think there were people maybe who thought it wasn't going to happen, and especially for the community.
I've had a picture of the blueprint for years hanging in my office, and when they actually started to move the dirt and the kids come in, Miss Todd, how long is it going to be? How long is it going to be? It's really happening, it's happening. And then when it was done and the kids coming out, it's just, I don't even have the words. I mean, it's brings a little bit of a tear to your eye, you know, watching the kids when they stepped out onto the field. They carry themselves completely different. This is their stadium.
And this is not just a football-only facility. Boys and girls soccer will use it. Boys and girls lacrosse. There is a tennis practice area. Track and field events can be held here. It has been 12 years, a very long wait, but for Fowler, it is the facility they have been waiting for. For this edition of Overtime Sports, I'm Chris Watson.